I'm going to call council meeting October 18th, 2021 at 5:30 to order. Candace, indication, please.
Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day, and we thank you for this time to gather together about the city's business. We ask that you guide us and help us to make the best decisions for the community and our citizens of this city. Lead us in all that we do and keep our community safe. In Jesus' name we pray, amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Before I ask for a motion to pass the consent agenda, October 4th, number 10 of the meeting minutes.
October 4th?
Yes, ma'am. Candace and Chad, I don't believe this is what we agreed on.
I wasn't here.
It was for the project graduation. You know, last year we gave a certain amount and we wanted to be able to do that again this year, but our budget isn't the same. So there was a shortfall of $500, which I thought that Candace and I were gonna split over a 2-month.
Yeah, well, and then Chad said too, so why don't we just divide it between the three? I don't want Chad to have to pay more.
No, that's what I was saying, because I thought that we were splitting it. And when I read it like this, it meant it looked differently, so why don't we, I don't think we have to budget it.
That's what I'm saying,
No.
it is, let's just start it up. Can we just start it up? Okay.
And we don't have to vote on that. We've already-
No.
Okay, with that being said, do I have a motion to pass consent agenda?
Make motion to pass.
Second. Discussion? All in favor? Motion passed. Mayor's report.
Okay, we're just continuing on with grants. Tracy and Michelle have both been working on trying to get everything together for this, the CDBG CV grant for the community center, gym, all that. Michelle's been getting bids and really working hard on that. We've had several that we've had to things that we've had to sign in the last few weeks. Tracy's been taking care of that, sending it in, so all of those things are falling into place. Did you ever get the actual official on the MSCOP?
No, ma'am.
Okay, I got a call that we did get approved on the MSCOP. I think I mentioned it the other night, but so that the public hears it. It was to pave Yellow Jacket, this part out here that'll go to McFadder. And we've already gotten the approval for the remainder of church that didn't get done the first time. But that, just so everybody knows, that takes a process of, with the grants, you close the grant and it's 6 months before they start, or longer, before they start doing anything. But just to let everybody know, both of those streets are a go. So what else? Code enforcement that we had met on, Becky, me, and Tracy had gone to the county several months ago. It kind of came to a stalemate or whatever. We've been trying to find out about that. Tracy's been going back and forth with the county. They're working up something for us to give us a better idea of exactly how we can proceed with that. But as of right now, it's not that we're not doing anything about it, but we have to wait on the county to get back to us, and they are doing their part, but it does take time.
Also, if I can add to that, I've spoken with Mr. Hawkins as well, again, and they're very short-staffed there to one.
Exactly. So they're doing the best they can. They'll get it to us as soon as they can. We're not trying, I just wanted y'all to know that that's being worked on. Miss Rhonda has graciously said that she could donate a concrete bench for our two sweet boys that passed away this year. And that way it wouldn't be one that would, deteriorate. It can just be pressure washed periodically. And I wanted to see if that was fine with the council for that, so I could tell Miss Rhonda.
That's so nice of you, Ms. Rhonda.
Yes, thank you, Ms.
Thank
Rhonda.
It's really my brother and sister too.
Yeah, well, it's all, I know it was Miss Rhonda's idea, wink, wink, I'm just saying, but they all three agreed, because the bench is at her mother's house.
Okay. So is it gonna go between the two trees, or where is it gonna go?
Yes, ma'am, we would do between the two trees, and they're the marker at each tree, and I think with,
Wherever Jason and his crew put it,
Yeah,
that's where it's going.
to me, it's kind of symbolic too, because Miss Paula was, so
Really?
great in our community, and so to have her bench out there between the two boys, that would mean a lot, I think, to everybody. And y'all know I get all sappy, so I'll go on with that. And the last thing is, Miss Wilson's bill, sat down this afternoon, I had been out of town, but sat down this afternoon, they found that in the computer, they had the computer was set up with 2 zeros instead of 1 zero. So that was, the bill's been wrong. So they went all the way back to her first bill, changed it for the entire thing, and it actually gave her a credit of $265 and some change.
49 cents.
Now, I asked Tracy because we took that money, it's not like it was a leak or whatever, to go ahead and cut a check so y'all could vote on that tonight, to give her the check so she has her money back. And I would like to add that to wherever I can add it, for y'all to vote on that, whichever one, Ms. President, it needs to be.
It'll be,
Unless you wanna move it up.
Can we
Let's
move it
just do
up
it
so she
first.
don't have to?
let's just do it first,
Okay,
before the first motion.
Okay. So they all just dropped, right? Is that what you're saying?
How about other people's water bills?
so that was the other thing that, what we need to discuss is to make sure we need to go through everybody's water bill in the computer system and make sure that they're not set up on 2 stationary zeros and they need 1
Right,
stationary zero.
I'll need a picture of everybody's meter.
So when they do meter reads, they can do that, right?
Yes.
Because I saw that neat system today, how it will send that right to her and she can ding on it, and that was really cool, y'all, if you hadn't ever done that before. It's really neat kind of thing. I do want to say that if we had radio read meters and a grant to get those radio read meters,
It'd be so much better.
Yes, ma'am.
it would be really, really good. Now, the error was not in the reader.
Right.
Chad and the guys did not read the meter wrong, okay? The error was in the computer having 2 zeros it was set up that way, as an automatic thing to do it. So that's why they gotta go back through and check every single one. Yes, ma'am. You're next. So anyway, that's all I got.
Is that all you have, Ms.
That is it, yep.
Okay, I have one thing that I'm gonna bring up now, and then the rest of it's just a report, so I'm gonna move that to the end, but right now, the reason that I'm doing it this way is because we discussed it at the last meeting, that there was an issue, but it wasn't put on the agenda. Vernon drugs, we all talked about the
Yeah.
backflow issues being hit. He called me, I went down there and looked at it, took pictures, literally, if somebody walked past it and bumped it, it's gonna break where it's at. He requested help with figuring out how to get it somewhere because a truck ran over it and he didn't know it over the weekend, and his bill
Busted again?
outrageous, so he's requesting an adjustment for his water, which I know is something we generally do not do, but a big truck hit it. It had rained previously, and everybody knows that corner of that parking lot in front holds water if it rains. So initially, he thought that's what it was. He reported it as soon as he found it, and Jason, if you'll follow up explaining to him what you've come up with.
Yeah, me and Jack talked, so what we're gonna do is put his backflow underground. I just had to change it out to this type, and then we're gonna put it underground, that way it won't be hit anymore, and make
Okay.
it easier. And he's gonna provide a steel plate to put over it, so that way if somebody does drive over it, it won't hurt.
It's literally right on the corner of
Yeah,
that
it's a bad spot.
pavement. It really is.
I mean, we can't move, there's nowhere to move it because it's all asphalt parking lot.
Yeah.
So,
So is it okay with council to add discussing or adjusting his water back to what it originally is as well? I mean, there's another one on here for a circumstance of weather. This was a big truck and where it's at, I mean,
Yeah, it was ours. I mean, we've got it sitting there, so I mean, yeah, I'm
Yeah, so add it to
add
the,
it to it.
to the, whatever,
okay, I
11,
don't even know what number I'm at now.
11, 12.
I think it's 12.
No, I think it's 13.
13.
It'll be 13.
Next in line, just add it to next in
Yeah.
line. Okay.
Okay. Attorney's report.
I don't have anything.
No, anything at all?
It's been a busy month, but not with y'all.
Yay.
Clerk's report.
I gave everyone a lot of handouts for
Yeah.
ARPA funding and an FMIT data recovery grant program. That's part of what you guys asked me to get for the IT security. So that's a little bit. He said that, I did talk to Tom Conley and told him right now we don't have any policies in place, and right now it's not a problem, but next year it could be. So we need to start looking at that. Also, Mr. Cliff White sent a letter basically telling how happy he is with Fields and with Jason taking care of the trees. And he would like to continue his lease if possible.
It's not up yet, is it?
No, but it soon will be, he said.
He said he'd like to leave that option open to renew. And also, the Hattie property up here on the square, they're gonna be out here on the 29th, starting at 9:30, doing some testing.
On the city square?
Yes, ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
Is that all you have?
Yes, ma'am.
Excuse me, please, and when is Mr. White's, you know when it's up?
I'll have to double check. It's not quite up yet,
Alright.
but I will check.
Fire chief's report. I know he's in school, but I don't guess he's seen anybody. Tracy, have you heard anything?
I thought he was gonna be here tonight.
He's gonna be here?
He's supposed to be, he said he was.
We can just skip and go back to him.
Okay, well, I know that he's started school and he had told us.
But he was off, he said he was coming.
Okay. Recreation report.
Baseball registration is open. It's basically a basketball. Thank you, ma'am. I forgot my paint marker.
Public works report.
I don't really have nothing, but, we started cleaning the ditches out, slowly. The ground penetrate radar is here. I let Ms. Robin know. I'm gonna put it together tomorrow. And then, at Pinecrest and Yawn, the road down there, the new road is gone. It's destroyed down there. And I've got like 5 calls on it. I don't know what to do about it.
The new road.
Yeah, when they put right there at Hezekiah's Mama's, it's bad right there.
That's not a new pavement, is it?
Yeah. That's brand new pavement when they put the pipe in. I put rock in it last time, but it's bad. I mean, we got to do something, because there's 3 water lines right there, like a foot underneath the ground. But I don't know what to do.
Is the road failed or what?
It's from them, it's from them parking in the road. They have all that stuff in the road, and then you got a guy that lives right there beside Hezekiah's mom that drives a rollback truck and the garbage truck, having to go around all that. You right down there and look at it, you'll see why.
But it doesn't seem like they put a very thick layer
No,
down
they
if that
didn't.
tore up, cause it's not heavy traffic
The
there.
problem we're having is there, where that hole is, there's a water line there.
Is the line leaking?
That is fixing to be, it was exposed.
On that same topic, if I can throw this in, what he's talking about in that area, I did try to go talk to Kai, I didn't get anybody to the door. But all of the stuff he's talking
Yeah.
about is on the city's right of way. We don't have a code enforcement, but we do own the right of way. So that's a different scenario.
Yeah.
Well, I know before there was an instance like that talked about calling the sheriff's department and having them, asking them to move the vehicles that were in the way.
And they have done that.
They
They've
do that,
done that.
I mean, they move them, but, I mean,
So-
And I would like to talk to
Come back.
Kai, just,
Are we talking at the end, at the dead end of yon?
yeah, and the
Where-
landowner is having issues there,
yeah,
where y'all used to.
Yeah, I know what
Okay.
you're talking about the dead
Yeah.
end. and there's
Yeah.
they're in the
property
corner right there, yeah.
That's the same one I called probably 3 months ago about, see if we could get an officer to go over there and.
They moved it, but they
Yeah,
put it
they
right
moved
back.
that way, you know,
I,
and they called
and
them,
I would
they
like to
moved
try
them.
to talk to him first, cause I mean, we've all known each other for our whole lives, but I couldn't get anybody there at the time, but I will try to go back.
I think that he may be working out of town again.
Okay,
I'll try to make
I
contact
think
with
so.
him too.
okay.
That's all I have.
Okay.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Tim, that's the new guy that we've had for.
Hi, new
he's not
guy,
really-
Tim.
He's not new, well, I mean, Billy, but,
Oh, yeah, speaking of, did y'all wanna go ahead and make him
yeah,
full-time,
'cause-
permanent? Cause right now he's still temporary.
yeah.
Can't do it tonight. Don't we have to vote?
That's what I'm asking, do you wanna
Yeah,
vote to
you're
make him
supposed to.
full-time, permanent? Or do you wanna wait?
Let's wait.
That's what I said, because we need to wait until, the meeting.
This is our meeting.
You know, we can vote here.
Vote tonight?
I know we can vote tonight, yeah, but we have to add it.
So you don't wanna add it, you wanna wait?
Yes.
How are you liking working for the city?
I love
Do you? For real?
it. Yeah.
Eyeball?
Y'all see how nice it is downtown there?
Well, you can put it.
It's really starting to.
He
to
done
look
that,
better.
that's him.
Yeah,
Well, we can vote on it down.
I appreciate y'all, all of
Him and
y'all.
Chad they've been busting.
Well, listen, I was out here when they were putting a shovel, cause they didn't have that thing, and Chad was running that shovel pretty hard that day,
Yeah.
but he made it look good.
14. No.
Okay, Jason.
Okay, I'm sorry. Could I have your full name, please? Cause
I'm sorry.
Timothy Grader.
Grayer?
Raider.
Later.
All this time, I thought you were saying Tennessee.
It's nice
Timothy
to meet you.
Raider, R-A-D-E-R.
Alright,
Yes.
so we're gonna put this on the agenda at,
14?
No, we can do.
I just wrote it, what, Ms. Gwen?
I said we.
Yeah,
we
well, I'm
voted
adding it,
tonight.
but we've, my numbers are running together,
Everything
you
is,
okay?
yeah,
Okay, so
I think
gonna
we're at
vote on it
14.
tonight. Thank you. Okay, is that
Tennessee the whole.
public participation, FRWA, Mr. Robert Mears?
That'd be me.
Yes, sir, how are you?
I'm well, thank you. I'm supposed to be here talking about rev plan, but I have something for the mayor and the rest of the council regarding a statement that was made. It's a good thing. Regarding the meters, I put in for a grant for them back in, actually February.
He did, y'all.
And then I heard from Water Management District, they had received it and they didn't have anything to do with it, so they passed it on to DEP, who's still handling it. What's going on with DEP is that they're handling a number of other items because of all the COVID money and the hurricane money coming in. It kind of got pushed aside. But I'm here to tell you, it's still alive. Don't know if it's gonna be approved or not, but it's still cooking, so to speak.
Okay,
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
thank you.
Now, I'm here to make a presentation of Rev Plan. One was already made 2-3 months ago, I guess. Other things were going on. What is Rev Plan? Essentially, it's long-range planning. And this is paid for by DEP, Department of Environmental Protection. They are partnered with Florida Rural Water. You've already done 2/3 of this analysis. You've done the Rev Plan, I'm sorry. You haven't done the Rev Plan. You did the asset management plan 3 years ago. You have diamond maps in place, and the third key is Rev Plan. So I'm here to tell you, I will perform Rev Plan for you at no cost. It's being paid for by DEP. What Rev Plan does, it assists you guys in planning for capital improvements, operational needs, not in the immediate, but long-range planning. So it also identifies any kind of rate increases which could appear before you going forward. I'm not here to talk about a rate increase for you anytime soon, so just want you to know that's really what the study's all about. And I think later on in this agenda, it's asking you to approve that. So there's really no downside to that at all. You're going to see another version of probably something you've seen before. The Rev Plan I've done before for you. Trying to think, 3-4 years ago I did one for you guys, I guess. This is kind of like that, but it's much more intense and it goes in much more detail about what's going to be needed to develop this information. So that's all I know.
So what do you want from, no, I'm asking you, what do you want from us right now? What are you trying to get?
I want you to, under item 5, to approve the Rev Plan, going forward with it.
And this is the one that you came and gave us a presentation on, and this is the one that's gonna be at no cost to us, except that our employees are gonna be taking up time.
I will need some time, yes, not much at all, trust me. I do almost all the work myself. I'm probably gonna need some information from that fella over there for water and sewer information. That's it.
We just need, I think, discuss it a little more. I don't. That's why he needs to come to, we should have came to a workshop so we could really go into more detail in a meeting. It's just, it's not enough information for me, really.
Mr. Burns, how much time are you talking about needing from Tracy and Jason? Just so the council will know for when they discuss.
Half an hour, 45 minutes, an hour,
An hour each, you
Yes.
can just say, total?
one time.
Okay, so not much.
Maybe periodically now and then I may need some information from them. It's a phone call away.
Okay,
Most of I'm gonna do this here. So if I had any questions, just stick this one over here, Tracy, can answer most of the questions I would have.
Okay, well, I guess we'll discuss it further. If you don't have anything else, it's on the agenda as a motion. We can discuss it then and decide if we want to pass it now or wait or whatever. It's listed on the agenda.
thank you.
Okay,
Thank you very much.
I'll wait.
Ms. Dawn McDonald with Washington County Planning, the Flume Amendment update on 3306 South Avenue. Is that her?
Hello?
Mm-hmm.
And she didn't hear you.
I don't think she's
Oh,
gonna.
no, she's bringing up her phone. least she wasn't asleep, cause I could see her eyes.
And see, this clarifies a lot for me, because I thought y'all said this one was going the other way.
Where?
So what's,
Family
Family.
Dollar Tree.
It's the same thing.
they're the
That's
same.
a dollar store,
Dollar
Dollar
General.
General. Are you looking at the wrong one?
This is a dollar general.
Sorry.
So this is the one that would be at South.
It's south.
Okay, gotcha, okay.
Yes.
What's it say?
Dollar General. So are they gonna keep the old one? Just build a brand new one?
I do not know. The applicant's rep is here, and so there's details that we can discuss.
Oh, he's right here.
Yeah.
Ms. Byers. Hello, good evening. I'm Dawn, and I'm your planner. I'm here tonight for you all, for the city, of Madam Mayor and commissioners, council members, and staff and guests. And so tonight, we have a future land use map amendment, a small scale amendment. And this is for a parcel that's within your city limits. So your planning commission of the county, I as your planner guide the future land use amendment to the planning commission, who sits as your advisory body. And so now you all have the final decision in this change. And when I was here the last few times, it's growth. It's finding its way here. And so tonight, the amendment is, the applicant is HSC Vernon LLC, property owner, and the address of the location is 3306 Sapp Avenue, and the parcel size is approximately 3.34 acres. And so the proposal is to change the parcel from low medium density residential to commercial. And this is to accommodate future commercial development on the site of a retail store. So you're a little bit ahead of us tonight. Actually, your city clerk is. So you have the submittal, and so what has to happen is the land use needs to change to accommodate the development, and then it's followed up by a development review application. So you all are gonna be able to review the document and provide any input, and you will have the final decision on that also. And so tonight is the land use for the final decision. The let's hit highlights here. So we met all the public noticing requirements, and that includes 2 newspaper advertisements and a sign, the bright yellow sign. And letters were mailed to all property owners within 500 feet, and we use the property appraiser's website for that, for all of our cases. It's the best we have, and that does a pretty good job. The neighborhood information meeting was held on September 14th. We had 3 attendees, and their issues were more of how the site was going to be developed. And so some of these issues are going to be addressed in December with the development review application. And one of the neighbors is in the construction business, so he knows exactly how these applications are processed. But mainly stormwater is the issue in this, for this case, and just drainage issues. But that would be addressed, and the county engineer would be reviewing that prior to the planning commission meeting to offer any suggestions. So by the time the planning commission reviews the development, the actual plan for the site, they should have an idea. If not, it's definitely going to be addressed before we're here. The Planning Commission conducted a public hearing on October 4th, and they recommended approval of the proposal. So I'll be glad to answer any questions. And Ms. Byro is here if you have any specific questions, so I don't misspeak.
The one at Saps, is it on the right side or the left side?
Barrett's house.
Barrett's house.
Where Miss Marcia
Marcia.
Barrett lived.
It's not his grandmother's house?
No.
Well, it used to be his grandmother's house. It-
the
yes,
first one that was near the road.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's Marcia's, the house that they live in now, it's the same one.
It's Miss Lottie's house.
It's that whole,
Yeah.
I figured it'd be the doctor's office, cause that's the house you got a little bit roughly.
This is the case you all discussed this at your workshop earlier this month. I think
Mhm.
your workshop's at the same night as the planning commission.
And what are they putting in the other side? Cause I thought that was supposed to be the dollar store.
So there is a
Dollar Tree.
family Dollar Tree that is under review, and that's headed to you in November. And that is on Court and Main, so it's closer to here. And we provided those copies to you also. That has,
Yeah,
you
we got
haven't
those
looked at that,
first.
the planning commission hasn't seen that. The planning commission packets are gonna be mailed out tomorrow, so they'll see it probably the end of the week.
so
Yes.
this is just for the land use change and then you're gonna have to come back. So this question may not be able to be answered, but I'm gonna ask it anyway. So Dollar General, is it going to be with produce and,
It is the larger, the 12,480 square foot market
It's
store.
probably like
it's
so it's
has
the
more fresh-
market?
Yes.
Will there be fresh meat or is it just gonna be produce?
I can't speak for Dollar General specifically because we're the developer, but all the other market stores do have meat and produce
Yes, ma'am.
options.
So it's the market like
Yes.
what's in Bonneville?
Yes, it's the largest store.
And the deal in the sand hills is there.
Thank you.
I mean,
Okay, and that's all I have. Does anybody else have anything for her? It's on the agenda.
And it's going to be, I saw one, oh yeah, that's what I wanted to know. I had seen one in, South Carolina and it didn't look like flashy yellow.
No, it won't.
It's going to be a very,
Yes,
okay.
yes, we don't do flashy yellow.
Okay.
The sign may be, but the building.
It's gonna be a classic, more classic.
Yes, we
fit
try to
into
make
the
sure
neighborhood.
the
Okay.
elevations fit in with the neighborhood and the community. You know, we wanna kind of set a precedent as we come in and we try and absorb, you know, the character of where we go. We develop, in, probably 6 different states. And I'm in charge of 5 counties in Florida and all the relocations in Florida. So every municipality we go in, we want to talk to the city and find out what will work best for you.
Well, that one was just so pretty and it just fit in well with everything and, you know.
In Gulf County in Port St. Joe was very nice. Too.
Yeah.
That's pretty.
Awesome.
So we'll make sure that when we come back in December, we'll have elevations for you to look at along with the site plan to go through and answer any questions. And the engineer of record will be here with me. I think he was here at the workshop, Paul Marcinko, he spoke briefly. But I just came today and then we'll both be back. He may be back, I guess we'll both be back in December, yes.
Okay.
Well, thank you for
Well,
coming.
thank you very
Well,
much.
thank you for listening. Thank you.
Miss Linda Wilson, Priscilla Brown, Wade Brown, and Claire McDonald. Water bill from Miss Linda.
oh, we just made it clear.
Yeah, but she's still listed as public participation.
Yes,
Hi, Miss Linda.
board members, you had to take my water bill out.
Yes, ma'am, that's what we discussed at the beginning of the meeting.
Yes, man, look, you know, when I called to the mayor, office, to City Hall, and I talked to the ladies, they need to learn how to speak better. Don't, let me see how to say this. Don't be smart mouth. Cause I pay them, I'm a taxpayer. So when I ask them a question, they need not get smart mouth with me, like Deputy Michelle, she always gets smart mouth with me. That's when I start yelling. Okay? And I don't like how, well, I don't know the other lady's name. They always put their hands up, push behind their hand and all that stuff. You don't do that in front of customers. If you got something to say to each other, you need to walk around the corner, you discuss it, and you come back. That's how you do stuff. You don't sit in there in their office and talk about people in front of them. That's a no-no. That's not good customer service. And they don't like being a customer service to the city of Vernon, they need to just get out. Let somebody else take the job. But when March come, oh, I'm gonna be walking these streets. I'm gonna get somebody to vote. Everybody gonna vote in Vernon. I'm gonna make sure of that. We're gonna change this town. Cause this town used to be a good town back in the day, but now, that when you cross that bridge, you should have lights all the way down to the dollar store. Put benches out there, Mr. Brown, you know what I'm saying? Snake minnows. Lighten this town up some. Everybody just talking about us. They come through Vernon there, wow. I don't even tell them I'm from Vernon. Cause when they come through, when they say Vernon, they laughing. We's a history town. I take my grandkids over to Shady Grove. We need to clean that up, cause that's black history. I would like to take my grandkids over there and talk to them and tell them how this school used to be a black school here, and play around with them. So I would like that to be cleaned up. And the meter guy, I didn't see him with a beer in his hand or nothing. But when he was there, he smelled like beer. And that's no joke when he opened his mouth. So now, y'all think it's funny, but it ain't
No,
funny.
ma'am, I don't think it's funny, but I don't think it's necessarily something.
I'm gonna walk this
you need to
town
complain
and I'm
about.
going to film it.
Well, certainly, if you get a video of a city employee working, holding a beer in their hand, I would like to.
I don't wanna see it, I see that, I wanna see them do some work. I'm gonna try to find and see what they're doing and all this stuff. I'm gonna film the streets and stuff, how that looks. I'm gonna film everything that we need to improve. I'm gonna be trying to sell one.
Well, Ms. Linda, we do ride these roads also right beside you,
You know,
and, we know how the condition of the roads are. They're not in good condition, and we know that, and we're working on that.
I understand that, our road is not that good.
Just be patient with us. I'm new at this is my first year, and we are working on that and trying to get things situated.
I just want to
as far as that.
respect when I call the city hall and when I go in there. Don't stand there, put your hands up, talking and whispering carrying on. Don't get smart mouth on the phone. That's all I want.
Miss Linda, you can't call them names either.
I ain't called them that, I ain't threatened them,
did. Now, I'm not sure, but don't.
and I ain't cussed them.
Well, I'm just saying what they said. Just like you said they did, they said you was calling them names.
I won't call them like that, I ain't cussed them, and I ain't threatened them.
names.
So, with that said,
You can't call them
they
names.
work for me, I don't work for them.
Well, you can't call them names.
I ain't calling no
Okay,
names,
they
I'm not
said
gonna
you
get
did.
into all that with you.
They said you
Thank
called
you,
them
Miss
names.
Linda.
So,
I'm
I
not
don't
gonna
know.
get into that with you.
Well, I hope that you don't have to even call back because we got the situation fixed now.
I've been telling you the whole time though,
Don't call them names.
the whole time, I didn't have no leak.
You are correct. That is
Thank you, Miss
correct.
Linda. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right. We say good evening to everyone that's on the panel. I was very pleased to hear how you are handling the water bill, not just for Ms. Wilson, but for the citizens of Vernon. So we ask you to continue that work, because your work shows whenever you care for the people, and they know that, and it shows, and we appreciate that. Everything that's going on as far as you were saying, the meter, radio meter and all that things, change takes time. Change takes time. And it seems like sometimes whenever it takes time, it seems like you're not doing anything when you're on the other side of the bench. So we ask that you, continue to show the citizens of Vernon that you do care for them, and we'll all work together and in a polite and professional and friendly way, so that way we can get some things done.
And, some of the things that you've already started with, you know, the shady grove with the grass and all that stuff, if we could just keep up what we're doing in a positive way. I heard the young man say something here, you know, a few moments ago about the meter that was in the process. You know, I know how it works with grants and all those things, and it does take time. So whenever you get to the point where we are a little agitated, and we sort of like take it out on you guys, just remember it's not always in a bad way. It doesn't feel good, but it's not always in a bad way, okay? So we ask you to just, you know, I just took a pin to even hear the first part about the water bill and how you were taking care of that. So we just ask you to continue to do your very best, and that way we can be the best little town on this side.
And that's all we want for our community
And
is to have
yes,
the best
because,
town.
you know, we are not a rude, we're a friendly town.
Yes, ma'am.
I grew up here over 60 years ago. So, thank you. See, he looked at me, he didn't think I was 60. You know, things, it's just the fact that, you know, we get agitated sometimes when it seems like nothing is being done. And then everybody's working, but then sometimes we can have an overkill. But I do appreciate you. Cause like I said, my thing was with the meter reading and all that stuff, because, you know, we just need to continue in the way of doing our very best at all times. And it shows up.
Thank you, Ms. Priscilla.
Thank you.
Good evening, I'm Clara McDonald, and I'm also here to discuss the water bill. Although Ms. Hodges, I think she
Yes,
was,
ma'am.
had met us outside and told us what was going on. But I found out the error to be 2 more zeros being added to the bill. I subtracted both bill, your previous and your present bill. And like in one of them, she has used 40 gallons of water, but yet y'all have 4,000 gallons to it. And I was like, it's 2 zeros being added, but I didn't know why, and that was the question. She had one down where she had 200 gallons, but you had 2,200, 22,600. Like I'm saying, you're still adding 2 zeros. Have you been doing that to all the customers? Is a question you asked. Not you told me you were gonna go back and check and see, which I think is a good thing, because when we find ourselves with an error, we need to go back and make sure it haven't happened to everybody, you know?
Yes,
And
ma'am.
like I say, you was adding 2 zeros, and I didn't know why. So now, you say you just gonna be 1 zero?
Yes, she's already fixed it in the computer. I've watched her do it.
All right, like I said, I just subtracted using my calculator and my brain, and I still seen it was an error. So. And I'm glad that you found out the error and you decided to fix it. And that was all we really wanted, was to go, you know, get it straightened out. That's all we come for. So,
Thank
in
you,
other
Ms.
words,
Claire.
when you know, treat people like you want to be treated, and that's it. So I thank you for listening. I thank you for taking the time to hear what we had to say. But most of all, I cannot hear y'all sitting back there, y'all on the
Yeah,
verge.
sometimes the volume is not.
Your volume must not be up on you.
We're up all the way. Really?
But I cannot hear you
Park your
sitting
car.
back. I can hear you good sitting back there. I can hear Candace.
We don't.
Because I'm allowed to. Stephen will tell you that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Claire.
Okay, and Miss Linda's still here. You're gonna be, we have one more public participation, and then we're gonna vote on your check. Did you hear me, Miss Linda Wilson?
Yeah, she shook her head.
Okay, all right. Miss Rhonda Dixon.
Do I have to go up here? Can I talk
You don't
about
want
it? Well, I'm excited that Jason has finally received our GPR unit, and I am requesting that when he gets trained on it, that several members of the cemetery committee get trained as well, because we know our city workers are overworked, and perhaps some of us volunteering would have a little more time to get out there and do it.
Mr. Larry, I think she was pointing at you.
I think some of us have been volunteered.
And once we start doing that, then we have to have some way to mark where those graves are that we are definitely going to find, I feel sure.
Oh, absolutely.
So I called Peel Funeral Home this morning and asked them how much the temporary that often become permanent markers that the funeral home puts on with names and dates and whatever. And I talked to Veronica, and she said those cost them $10 each. And I said, well, we're gonna have to come up with something, because there's no use using the GPR if we're not gonna mark what we find. And so I said, would y'all consider donating some to the city? And she said that she would talk to Herbie and her mother and get back to me. So I will get back to y'all, but I am asking that if we don't get enough donated, if the city will provide us with a budget so that we can purchase something, you know, even if it's just a wooden stake, but these are metal.
They're not gonna last.
If you don't
I think they're square.
get them, let me know. I got a guy that referees with me, that he owns a funeral home in Mariana, and I'll
Okay.
ask him to.
Good. And if we can't afford those, or we don't get them donated, the number that we need, I checked at Harris's this afternoon, and they've got metal little skinny fencing posts
We got them.
that are $2.50 each.
I already got them.
You've got those too? Okay, so.
May I say one more thing?
Yes.
May I speak? Okay. Another thing I would like to also say that you could do is record your conversation, and then there won't be no hearsay, he say, she say stuff. And you let that person know this conversation is being recorded. Then you have, your own proof of what's what. Another thing they did to us, people coming out reading our meters on our home, they fixed it where they could look at it from the office and get the number, which will take somebody's job, but that's one of the things they did. Which costs us $30 a month, but.
Thank you, Ms. Blair.
So what I'm asking is for the council to approve that the cemetery committee be trained at the same time as Jason.
I don't have a problem with that. I don't think
If you
it's
want to,
anything that we need to vote on,
if
is
you
it?
want to.
Okay, and Larry has a suggestion about the use of it.
All right, as most of you know, this is a very expensive piece of equipment. It's not cheap. There are gonna be problems with it if it's not handled properly. It needs to be stored properly. It probably should be stored in an air-conditioned, climate-controlled location.
We're leaving it up here.
You got it up here?
Yep.
Okay, also, and I don't know if there's a warranty with it or if you have a maintenance contract you can get for it, but you might wanna look at something like that because I don't think anybody here is qualified to work on it. I know I'm not.
Right.
If you're going to loan it out to anybody, they need to come and sign it out here at the city office and sign it back in when they're done with it and need to state what they're gonna do with it. And also, they probably would want to have some controls on where it could be used and how. The city council would. You just need to sit down and make up some kind of use plan for it.
I would think, either a city employee or a trained cemetery committee, period.
We're the only one.
Well, it probably should not go out of the city
Right.
No.
unless there's special occasions. There may be times when, you work out something with another city, maybe outside, a cemetery just outside the city limits, and that's okay. But, there may be times when you want to, receive some compensation for the use of it too, because like I say, it's probably gonna be expensive to maintain.
Deposit wouldn't hurt either if they go borrow it.
Well, I think the plan initially was to purchase it for public works and so the cemetery would have use of it. And
Well, there's probably a lot of things that can be used for it.
Initially, this idea came from the cemetery committee,
Yeah.
and
Yes.
then it was decided that
The
public
good thing
works
is,
would work on it, so
this
it,
radar we bought, I've used before, so this may work out pretty good, so
Good deal.
maybe like.
Yeah, we definitely, it doesn't need to go out the door unless,
Unless one of the
Someone's-
employees.
Yeah.
And that's even if I'm using it, or Larry's
Exactly.
there, or
Exactly.
whoever, if it
You
goes
need
out
to
the
know
door.
where it is.
Yeah.
And we need to know that somebody's trained to use it.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave it
So
up here,
make
I'm
your
gonna leave
list
it
of
at City
your
Hall as my
volunteers.
plan, instead
I
of
will
taking it
make
to
a
the
list
office
of the
down there.
volunteers that are willing to do that.
Well, we're down to 12 tables in the community center, so we sure don't need a $14,000 piece of equipment.
Somebody borrowed.
There's 12, that's it.
tables, the tables are disappearing?
We had
There's
25
12.
for Christmas.
I think there's
So we have an account of who's rented the facility.
Yeah, there's more. I think there's something.
Sportsplex. American say, hey.
They brought them from the sportsplex, but that's what made it 12.
Yeah, I got
I know we
4 or
had.
5 in my, there in the back.
You didn't hold the table?
I don't want them.
Sorry.
So maybe they've been moved around.
Michael.
Yeah, there's some back there in the
I was
back.
gonna say, because now we have, you keep, excuse me, you do keep a record of the rentals.
No, I
and
don't.
everything. So maybe we need to start taking account of our tables and chairs.
Before and after.
I'll get all them back there, that way when I come in.
Yeah.
All right.
Pippin. I-N or E-N?
Ms. Ron, is that all you have?
Yes, ma'am, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Jack's here. He's been
You
waiting
know why
patiently.
I could,
Yeah,
fire chief's report,
You can go.
when I called down.
I am so sorry, I could not see you. You should wave or something when you come in.
What are you doing here?
Good night.
He was hiding in the corner.
Well, start with some good news. We got some new officers, 2 new officers in place. Craig Pettis, he made the assistant chief. Lucas Seeley, he's now the captain. Stephen Matthews, he's first lieutenant. Jason Brock is second. We're steady growing, get people slowly but surely.
All great people too.
Well, I only know 3 of them, but they all have an extensive background in what they're doing, so it's been on it for a while.
That's great.
That's wonderful news.
And they got a training meeting tomorrow. I won't be there, I'll be at school and work. So I won't be there. Other than that, everything's going good.
How's school? School?
Yeah.
What about your equipment?
Oh, yeah.
You better clean that place up.
A lawnmower, a weed eater, and a hedge. And a hedge.
You don't need one of
Is that
these
in-
anymore, still.
Was that
Not a
on
commercial size.
That,
It was turned in a couple of months ago,
what was turned in?
his list, for the lawnmowers, the weed eaters, the edgers.
Yeah.
It was during
A blower
a
and a
workshop.
weed eater, is that all? How about a blower?
So what, is,
Like all lawn equipment.
If you get a blower, you can blow out.
Didn't we set aside
We were gonna set
CARES,
aside-
CARES funding for that?
And ARPA money.
And, yeah, and ARPA.
Okay.
Cause it has to go to to the first responders.
Right. Oh, yeah, and I need some more radios. My guys ain't got radios. That's like 2,000 a pop.
How much?
Each?
Hey,
2,000 a pop.
hey, do your radios, I hate to ask it, do they pick up the county and EOC on your radios you
Yes.
have?
County and EOC.
I need one of them radios for
Emergency
for emergency
situations.
sort of
I was
thing.
gonna get some extras.
If he can get
Just in
one
case.
extra one, then take it out of my budget for that one for me. So I can keep it all this, so that one, when the power, when the storms hit,
We have another Michael.
we borrowed one from the county when Michael hit. And that way we'll have
Got
one.
one on the road, what if they got hurt?
I don't have a problem with it, is that something we need to vote on? I mean,
I'm gonna have to go
requested
get
it
quotes
months
on
ago.
them.
But you said
I'll
we
back
already
you
had the
on
money.
quotes on them.
We set aside
set
CARES
aside-
and ARPA for first responders, so they should have that in their budget. Basically, by the time Shaq's done, he should be like the fanciest fire department, volunteer fire department around. He ought to be able to get there in 35 seconds with the helicopter. No.
Hush, now that'll be next on the list.
Guarantee you'll come in here next to see the helicopter.
Scratch that.
Drop water from the helicopter, you gotta do it all the time.
Yeah, when you order one, can you order an extra one?
I was gonna try to get an extra 2, one for a city.
That way I can, and I'll,
Other than that,
That it?
that's it.
Oh, Miss Gwen told me that y'all couldn't get in the other night, and it was because, I messaged him already as soon as Miss Gwen told me, and he didn't get there till 6:45, cause they were starting at 7,
Right.
so that's how come it was locked still. I'm sorry, I didn't know till Miss Gwen just told me.
They didn't get in at all, did they?
No,
They canceled it.
Huh?
They wanted to cancel it.
Well, he didn't tell me that, he just told me he
He
got,
told, that's what he told Jack, but they canceled it.
okay.
They said they canceled it.
The bonfire, they counted.
He didn't tell me, he just told me he didn't get there till 6:45, cause I told him you got there at 6:30, so. Thank you for going and getting everything together, anyway.
Thank you, sir.
Well,
Okay, on the new business. Can I have a motion to approve Linda Wilson's, disbursing of a check for $265.49?
Motion we approve.
Second, discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried, check's been signed.
Ma'am, I'm gonna need part of that.
You're welcome.
I think you're not shepherd.
Number 2, motion to approve resolution 22-176 adopting Washington County's LMS.
But you gonna read it?
I don't have it to read.
Yes, you do.
You don't have to read the resolutions.
I don't have, it's in a testing time, Pass it to me.
I got a copy
Here's
now.
You
mine.
got it?
Hang on, we got one, oh, you got it?
Yeah, just read the first part, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Resolution number 22-176, whereas the Washington County Board of County Commissioners created a local mitigation strategy committee comprised of county and municipal representatives, private citizens, local and regional agencies involved in hazard mitigation activities, and agencies have the authority to regulate development, including businesses and other private and non-profit interests. Do I have a motion to approve?
I make a motion.
Second,
Second.
discussion.
This has actually been approved before, but it was just a little ahead of when it should have been.
I saw
So,
that.
yeah.
All in favor?
Uh,
Motion carried. Number 3, motion to approve $246.79 adjustment to account 862. It was estimated too high. Do you have a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second,
second.
discussion. Why was it estimated? What's going on with all
It was
that?
underwater. That's the only reason that the system will estimate is if we cannot get a read because it's underwater.
Okay. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. Motion to approve, number 4, motion to approve $64.28 in adjustment to account 1228. It was not placed on vacation status. Do I have a motion?
Something to watch.
Make a motion we approve.
Second, discussion. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. Number 5, motion to approve $135.83 adjustment to account 881, uprooted trees caused a leak.
This is one that was,
It's the one that was
That
discussed
came
at
at
the
the last
workshop.
workshop, it
Yes.
was due during the storm.
But we didn't have, I didn't.
we had a remnant.
If you'll go ahead and approve the motion, then it can be discussed.
That's right. Yeah.
Make a motion to approve.
Second,
Second.
discussion.
Thank you.
This is the one that came to the meeting and
It is the one that
explained.
came to the workshop, but this storm actually hit Louisiana, not Florida.
Yeah, but we had some remnants that come here off of it. I had some trees down at the farm from what tree?
Traverse.
Yeah, basically it was a storm, the trees fell down and
Ended up rooted to pipe.
right at the meter.
It just poured out.
And I know that we generally don't adjust water, but that's what it came about because it was a
You don't
storm.
have sewage.
Correct.
Correct,
No.
right.
Jason, do you have any comment on that?
I don't know about this.
Chad
Chad,
was here and was going to talk about it.
He had to go. In fact, if this is property, I think, this is the one they're clearing land out there too.
So they've had heavy equipment out there.
Yeah, but I don't know on the tree thing.
Well, I know that she said, excuse me, the lady that was with the gentleman said that he had used a piece of equipment to remove the tree off of the meter, but
Gulf Power did that,
Hang on,
she said.
he had to leave.
He's trying to get up with
He
me.
had to
Chad.
leave. Hey, are you still in the program? Hey, the water leak to the tree. When you went out there, was it because of the tree falling? On Traverse, yep. Yeah, Chad said there was no tree near the meter down. If there was,
so the tree did not cause it.
yes, as far as he knows it now.
Did he take some pictures? Or he didn't?
Yeah, there was no tree, anywhere around, there's no trees around the meter at all. On our side.
I reckon.
But it was a
we tabled
pipe,
this
not the
until-
meter.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, he said the whole land's being cleared off is what it is with equipment.
they
I
hadn't
recommend
had an
that we-
adjustment before, so I know y'all usually do a one-time.
What did you say they have or have not?
They have not, correct?
And there may be-
Well, how do we adjust this?
I guess Tracy's already figured it out for that amount.
How do we adjust it?
Yeah,
They don't have sewage.
He said he went out
That
there
was my
and
question.
it's hard to tell if a tree's fallen because they've been clearing all that out there and there's equipment everywhere out there, so he can't say that it was because of a storm. And they're clearing all that land, so.
And there was also the question about maybe moving the meter because of the cutoff, but you said it's better that way, right?
I know there was an issue with it, they said it was tilted or something, so
Yeah. But they're not supposed to touch it anyways on the shut off, that's for us. I mean, I guess he was shutting it off and on and we didn't know about it.
he said in the meeting that he was shutting it off every time they left, and I thought it was somewhere that they lived, that's how I found out that it wasn't. Because I couldn't understand why you would turn off your water every time you
Yeah, I
left.
didn't know about it either. Yeah.
So do we need to vote on this, or table it till Chad can be here, or how do y'all want to proceed?
That's what Chad did. I mean, we can go ahead and.
I thought we already discussed it, we did.
All in
Let's go
favor?
ahead and-
What are we doing? We tabling it or what?
Voting on it, I guess.
Let's go ahead and vote on it, because we already discussed it on a meeting that whenever you wasn't here.
Oh, okay.
And we've got a motion and a second, so all in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. Number 6, I'm sorry, we added at the end of the agenda, so it changed the numbers.
It's still
So
you.
This is you.
Oh, may I speak briefly to the council?
Yes.
I'd like to make bring some clarity to this issue. Ms. Marks brought up the issue was that not enough information. And I agree with that. So let me give you an idea of what we'll be looking at briefly. Water and wastewater gallons produced per DEP, we get the information from them. Your debt, your assets, which already been taken care of, capital needed by cost, water rates, individual, industrial, if you have any commercial and residential, and connections by pipe size, other expenses and revenues, interest and cost expense, and again, that's about it. But there's more. I don't have the information right now, but there's 12 different issues we'll be looking at. And I just wanted you to know it's on the house. Thank you.
Motion to approve FRWA, proceeding with Rev Plan, Mr. Robert Mears. Do I have a motion to approve?
I make a motion to approve, and but.
You have a second.
Yes, all you do is make a motion. Do I have a second?
Yeah.
Thank you. Where we were? She said, yeah.
Discussion?
Yeah.
We were talking about moving this to the workshop. So, let's,
What are we voting on? That's what I thought this was.
I'd like to move that to the workshop. Because if this system goes down in 6 months, who's responsible for fixing it?
What system?
This system that we're
It's
trying
your
to
system.
Huh?
It's your system, not mine.
Well, that's what I'm saying. When this system goes down, who's responsible for fixing it?
You are.
Okay, so what's the cost on that?
He's
I
not
don't
doing
know.
anything to the system.
He's not
All
doing
he's
anything to the
going to do is give
Work up a plan for us to look at and review.
just
Yeah.
information. It's free. The people he works for pays for it.
Oh.
It doesn't do anything to
I
our
thought it was a-
system.
I thought it was a different
It'll just be,
system.
it'll be,
See,
and
that's
he's gonna
where-
give us a book like this, and it'll be suggestions and the
That-
things we need to do with
That's the reason I said, that's the reason I said we need to talk about it more, because I don't understand what was going
That's
on.
what I said, I know.
You see where I'm going?
I do.
Because
That's why I told you I didn't.
No.
that's where I was going with that.
So.
So,
So,
let's
do we want to table this for a workshop?
table it for a workshop.
When is our next workshop, Tracy?
November 1st.
Can you be back November 1st?
I have to look at my calendar. I don't know. I don't think so. I think I'll be here.
It should have been at a workshop.
He's already been to a workshop, that's why he came here tonight.
Yeah, he came out and did a presentation. and
Yeah, he did a whole, 40 minute presentation?
Well, if it's free, you said it's free, right?
It's free. He's not gonna go into any computers. He's not gonna change, we're not buying a system. All he's
I
gonna
bring
do
my
is,
own computer.
yeah, all he's gonna do is print us out information that would say, if you do this, then you get revenue here. And this you might need to cut it here, you might need to add it here. That kind of thing. Is that
That's
correct?
exactly-
Okay.
So you
Once
may
I've
come
said
back,
that before.
you may come back later and say, well, you need to spend money to do this.
But we don't have to spend.
I don't have,
Yeah.
I don't have the authority to do that. I'm just gonna present you with some findings. You can
And it'll
throw it
be
away,
up to us,
do what
yes.
you want with it.
He does it for a lot of counties, and it's just a free service.
Okay, so what is the will of council? We've got a motion and we've got a second. Are we tabling or are we voting?
It's not gonna cost anything.
So that's what I said.
Make the motion.
The motion second's done. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
We're moving forward.
Congratulations, you don't have to show back
You'll
up.
be
in
very well
November.
informed. I'll be all, keep you here for an hour. No kidding.
Thank you, Mr. Murs. Y'all, I want those radio read meters. Y'all be nice to him.
Thank you.
I'm trying. I want a
Number
helicopter.
7, motion motion to approve allowing Washington County Dolphins to use the use of the pageant dressing room once the insurance is provided to the city clerk, free of charge for wrestling practice.
There is a room upstairs too.
No,
Have you been
no.
up there?
That's been blocked off, that is not accessible.
No,
Why?
just go
Not
with it.
accessible.
I make a motion to approve.
Second. Now discussion.
Well, we're discussing it, they're all going crazy over here, but nobody said
Yeah, and you,
one.
when's the last time you've been in that room?
Upstairs, it's been a while.
Yeah.
Okay.
And honestly, I appreciate the upstairs room, and I would never turn down a room if it was available, but these boys are gonna be hitting that floor pretty hard.
We don't want to fall through it.
I'm not saying they're gonna hit it that hard, but I mean, I don't
One of them in
know,
the stairwell.
I don't know how, this is an
Well,
old
what's
building,
wrong
I don't
with
wanna take any chances.
That's where he's going.
We don't want him in the stairwell.
Yeah, it's fine, that's where it
His
is.
house.
We had said this dressing room.
Yeah, the dressing room over there is it's an absolute perfect room. We went and measured it, and Miss Michelle and I went over there and double checked it. It's absolutely the perfect size.
And you gave them the information for the insurance today?
Yes, ma'am.
So we're
Right
ready to go
here.
with that? Okay.
You are added on the insurance, and it's costing me $130, so whether you say so or not.
I make a motion we approve.
Second,
Second.
discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. I think that was motioned and seconded twice.
We really want you there, sir, thank
I
you.
appreciate
And
your
y'all boys do good.
Thank you, Mr. Williams.
Like our coach, he came all the way from Panama City tonight, hoping to get over here so he could hear y'all say okay. He's chomping at the bit.
Oh, that's hard.
He's excited.
When will y'all start then?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Because Zumba had actually asked me, because they were worried their music was gonna, I was like, those boys been practicing in a barn, they will be thrilled, play the music.
Yeah, they don't care at all.
Number,
Is that room cleaned out?
We're gonna take
All
care
that's
of
left in there is,
That's actually why Coach came up. If we get
all
over
that's
there
left
tonight,
in there
we
is
keep
the
cleaning it up
pageant
tonight.
stuff.
I got it.
All that's left in there is the pageant stuff. I had all the desks removed and thrown in the dumpster.
Okay.
number 8, motion to approve plume change to 3306 Sap Avenue from low, medium density to commercial. Do I have a motion to approve?
I make a motion we approve.
Second,
Second.
discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Congratulations.
Motion carried.
We're all excited.
Very excited for our
We're
town.
waiting for that Dairy Queen and Chick-fil-A.
Forget it, she said.
That was a good question.
Very
Do we
quick.
get a discount?
As I said, it's the catchphrase, I'm just the developer, I don't operate it.
Number 9, motion to approve a $1,000 donation to VHS project graduation
And I'm gonna fix all the rest of it.
splitting the rest between Candace, myself, and Chad over 2 checks. Is that the way we said it?
Are we doing 2 or 1?
We'll one, doesn't matter to me.
Can we just do one and be done, since there's 3 of us? Okay.
Do I have a motion?
I make a motion we approve.
Second,
Second.
discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Number 10, motion to approve adding public works and fire departments laptops to IT security. Do you have a motion to approve?
Make a motion to approve.
Second,
What was that amount?
discussion.
I was hoping to have that total today, but they did not send it. So,
Well, we need to
can we
know
table that?
how much
Yes.
it's gonna cost.
Table.
Exactly, that was my whole point, we didn't table it till we figure out. And I'm sorry, who seconded the motion?
We didn't second it.
Yes, they did.
You're fired. We're all awake. I'm sorry, who was it?
I don't know, but I asked for discussion when I heard a second. I thought it was.
Somebody did, Miss O'Lee did.
Miss Laura
Okay,
did.
thank
I
you.
said second before you said discussion.
I'm sorry, I
You're
couldn't
supposed
hear
to say second before I say discussion.
Laura
You
said.
did good. Okay, number 11, motion to approve additional bracing for council chambers by Alpha Foundation for $5,000.
You already did
Yeah, can we see the picture? Oh, y'all gotta do a motion. and-
Yeah,
There's pictures in there, so
I don't have
basically,
mine with me.
what
It's,
it's been paid for.
everything else has been paid for,
It's
but,
done.
on this paper that I gave to everyone, there you have that one. He's actually giving us a discount on everything, And then after the discount, he's giving us a second discount because the total was actually $5,680 with his first discount. The second discount, he just knocked it down to $5,000.
So that's to fix all of
Two
this.
places right here. And then we can look at flooring in here.
Do we have it?
It's from here that way.
Do we have it in the budget
Yes, ma'am.
then?
Yes, ma'am, we did.
It was something that we
Where we had already put
put
in.
it in there.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
What else we
If you, when you go out, if you look at the front door, you'll see there's no gap. Council agent is all done. It's beautiful.
The drugstore meeting.
The bathrooms been fixed,
Fixed. Everything's been fixed.
except for those two areas right there.
Okay, we need a motion.
I make a motion to approve.
Second,
Is that for the, alpha? Second.
now discussion that y'all already had. Any more?
I really thought I missed the motion.
Missing the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
You better stop it.
Okay, number 12, approve application permit for Hunter Park. Do I have a motion?
I make a motion to
I'm
approve.
okay.
Second, discussion.
This is for the broadband for the tower to be placed over in her park.
We need that.
Yes, we do.
Kids need it, man.
Did you have anything to add, Ms. Dawn?
No, just real quick, I'm sorry we weren't able to workshop this. We were over here in May and there were two sites, and as you recall, one of the sites you said was owned by the school district. We did some research on that, and that site, the deed wasn't recorded yet, so that needs to be finalized, but that's between the school district and so apparently we're still showing up on the property appraiser's website as the owner. But then there was the other site at the EMS station, which we're calling Vernon B. And WildStar, our consultants, called Friday and they're ready to move forward. And they said, we want to locate in Vernon. I'm like, yes. Okay, I'll be back in Vernon for 2 meetings. So, but for the file, all I'm requesting is approval for the approval to locate the broadband pole on the site. That's what's required of anyone, county or private developer. And also for the major development review application. And also there were variances so that there was no requirement for vegetation around the tower, so there's access directly to it. Remember, these are poles, they're not like a transmission tower. And there was some concern when I was here that we would, there's a possibility we would interfere with a future park improvement, a splash pad in this area. And I tried to reassure you all that we could locate it wherever need be. And so what's going to happen now is I'm requesting approval of those items from you all so that we can locate our broadband. The consultant is working with the geotechnical company, so they're going to be around the county with soil borings to determine the best location there, and with you all in mind and your concerns in mind.
Candace, didn't we verify that both places weren't gonna be an issue for us?
Yeah, it's great at Hunter Park. Hunter Park's
workshop.
great, and I think we need to go forward.
Yeah. So,
That's where the splash.
No, they said that it wouldn't be interfere with the splash pad at all. Yep.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
And when are we getting this, you know?
The splash pad doesn't have anything to do with her.
That's county.
She's counting.
But check on that. If you can find that.
Right, Candace. We need to put that splash right in the door.
Okay, number 13.
She promised. We got it on record.
Is that right?
Yeah, Jack.
Vernon drug adjustment to water. We know that Jason is gonna fix it by putting it underground, so we won't have that issue anymore.
I make a motion we approve.
Second,
Second.
discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. 13. Okay, if my scribblings are correct, this should be number 14. And it's a motion to move Timothy Grader from temporary to part-time,
Full-time, permanent.
temporary to full-time permanent. How long has he been on the job?
Since August 18th, I believe. Is that right?
It was just temporary.
Okay, let's,
That's the reason.
do I have a motion?
Yes, I make the motion.
Second,
Second.
now discussion.
Do we want to make this move as of October the 21st, which will be our new pay period?
I make a motion that we do that.
Well, I'm gonna jump in here. I don't have a dog in the hunt, so to speak, except that we, recently, had an employee and they didn't have an employee real quick. So my question is, and Chad's not here, and I wish he was, because I've seen him working with him, and Mr. Grader, no disrespect meant here. I'm just being a little cautious because we just quickly went through an employee, so, I just wanna make sure that everybody's good with that, and there's been given enough time to know that we're not gonna have to turn right around and do this again and pay for more advertising.
Well, he's been here since August.
2 months, right?
I've seen him on the street, but I've never got a meeting till
Me
night.
either.
Every time I've
Jason
seen him, he's been
never brought
working. I can say that.
Well, I've seen it, I saw him out there working, getting ready for all the stuff that's been going on here.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that everybody was good and everybody
He's the only one that applied.
knew what was going on.
Yeah, he's the only one that's applied for anything.
Did you have a bunch of people that applied online?
Yeah, we sent them in,
I never received those.
it was during your absence.
I never received them.
Consult your staff.
I don't go into
No, that would
email.
be directly to my email, and I never received anything.
No, it was sent to your assistant, since you were out.
To info at vernonfl.com.
Whatever the email address is that we've been using, yeah.
I'm never
But you
received
agree
an
that he's
application.
Yeah, he shows up,
I didn't receive
he
any
needs me to
application.
work.
You can go
I
look
received
at
nothing
it.
but good reviews before we even hired him.
Yeah, he come.
I think there were 22.
Long before.
I can look at my computer. It's no applications on there at all. And they actually, the ad said that applied here.
Yes.
We can
that
go ahead and
was another
resend
issue. In the ad, it did say to apply at City Hall. So they didn't do that.
Are we still hiring
No, we done away with that.
a part-time or no?
I thought we done away with that.
She said it wasn't in the budget after everything.
Okay, I couldn't remember. So we'll have 3 full-times.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's correct.
That's what we used to have. Anyway, it's
Yes,
usually
ma'am.
full time.
Yeah, at one time we had 2 full-time and 1 part-time. Mhm.
Are you gonna pay him the same thing with Chad did?
No, he's gonna be getting paid the same as the previous position, the one that was filled and dumped very quickly. All right, all in favor? Opposed? I heard 1 aye.
Thank you.
They gotta say opposed then.
So I have an aye and a table.
For right now. Nothing wrong with it, I just want to table it for right now.
Ms. Laura?
I already said, yeah,
You wanna hire him tonight as of October 21st, permanent?
I can't hear you.
I said, do you wanted to hire him permanent as of October 21st?
Yes.
So you got 2 and a table.
1.
Just,
What the baby doing? She didn't
Exactly.
vote.
Becky has to vote too.
They can't vote. Yes, she
Yes,
can.
you can.
I can vote, I vote every time.
She can vote.
Just because I'm president doesn't mean I don't vote.
So,
Mr. Gould, I'm gonna say table it. So now we're kinda at a split. Can you, Mr. Gould, could you forward those applications?
Yeah, I just resend the email. Yeah, there were 22, I believe,
Just
total.
to see, just to see.
Yeah.
And like I say again, I have absolutely nothing against this person, I don't know him.
Well, now, and just to put, your clerk just pointed out that they were supposed to apply in person,
That
so,
was printed in the ad to apply in person at City Hall.
so, I mean, that,
I mean, they had to come and get an application regardless, and that did not happen.
So where did they get applications if he got?
our advertising,
Turned in a resume. That was it.
yeah, our advertising did not say anything about applying in person.
I didn't receive it. It was before you went out that they talked about it. It was before she went off.
So you have a tie.
So table it to the workshop, is all we can do.
Well, then if we have
I
we
mean,
have other
we're
people
split here and Joey's not here.
we don't have any paper applications, though, is that, if that's how the
No.
advertisement.
Well, and I'm not, that's what I'm saying, I'm not saying that, I just.
I don't either.
You know, the main. Come on now. You got to have a job, whatever. And now.
Well, he's still got a job.
Vote on it, he's already got a job.
He got a job.
He's not losing a job.
But he just won't get any benefits until later.
Yeah, we told him that we were gonna vote on this tonight, and we're at a standstill on the vote,
That's what
so.
I said, because he don't, well, he might have a job, but he does not have benefits.
And that's just being prolonged.
Yep. No, if it's a tie, we can't break it. There's no way. You do have to table it if it's a tie.
Well, and even if, I mean, even if you wanna do it as a special meeting when everybody's here, I didn't even realize that Joey was out of town until I got here, so.
Okay, we have a special meeting the
Tuesday.
Tuesday,
Yes,
because of,
Tuesday.
can we add that item to this special?
If you ask me to, I can.
That's
Okay.
absolutely perfect.
And
What
then,
Tuesday?
The 26th.
it's
Next
because
Tuesday.
it's
A
for
week
the
from tomorrow.
grant, and we have to have a special thing.
I thought you were talking about tomorrow.
No, ma'am, a week from
No,
tomorrow.
we have to have a special thing for the
And then
grant.
we've already got Jason's
Tomorrow.
recommendation. By then, some of us have seen Chad can tell us, and everybody will be here to vote.
Okay, so add that please, Pam, to
And
the
that's
special
this,
meeting.
Thank
so
you,
I'm,
Mayor.
Next Tuesday.
what's the date?
10/26.
All right.
I will not be here.
Is that it?
What is that special meeting on about Tuesday?
It's for the,
CDBG CV,
it's for the COVID
Community
grant,
Center.
yeah.
Is it all right with, council if my president report goes on at that meeting as well?
Yeah.
I have a report to council that, the attorney and the mayor's already aware of, so it's not a big deal, but it could possibly be long and drawn out, and it's 7:00, 7:01. So I'm just asking if my report can be moved to Tuesday's special meeting.
I think I have to add that, right, okay, add president report to the third item on that meeting then.
And just so everybody's aware, I have a conflict with that night. I'll be in Jackson County for the regular meeting.
Is that fine?
That's fine.
I quit eating supper, so I'm not rushing anybody.
Does anybody else have anything that they need to say?
Pray for me.
Chad, Miss Gwen, Tracy, Jason, anybody? I have one question. Never mind, no, I don't. Yeah, motion to adjourn, that's a question.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second?
You know, you're back to blowing. I beat him.
Miss,
Second.
Miss Dawn brought that one.
Second?
I got you.
All in favor?
Alright.
Adjourn.
Jimmy cook.
Y'all quit all that jabbering back down that way, I might get you straight.
I quit eating supper.